So the other day I was in the gym doing weights. It was 3:30 in the morning, and for some reason I started thinking about Lizzo, which I tend not to do, I have to point out. And then I suddenly had a revelation that she owed a lot of her success to some of the traits that Andrew Tate displays. Now, they probably share a few traits, talent and experience in their chosen fields and what have you. You know, Lizzo's a good musician, she can play the flute and what have you. And Tate, before he decided to be a gobshite, was a good kickboxer and a good chess player. They share a lot of shit like that. But the one thing that I think they owe a great deal of their fame to, and they describe, is something that was pointed out when Jordan Peterson was asked about Andrew Tate.
The mystery is, there is a mystery in relationship to Andrew Tate, and the mystery is, why is he so popular? And I think part of the reason he's so popular is because he doesn't easily bend a knee, so to speak, you know, and it isn't obvious to me that he doesn't bend a knee because of his stellar moral character.
So, stellar moral character aside, Lizzo has taken something that would normally invite a great deal of criticism, and she has had a great deal of criticism, and used it for publicity, weaponized it, and refused to bend her knee, which is to say, she doesn't give a shit if people think she's fat. Now, quite frankly, what weight Lizzo decides to be in her life is entirely none of my business, and I couldn't give a shit. But she has very effectively and intelligently made other people give a shit about it. By this, I mean she's told a lot of other people, by perhaps not her words, but her actions and her confidence, that it is alright to be overweight. And by his token, Andrew Tate has more or less been completely shameless about his opinions on the fairer sex. Now, this isn't to say that Tate doesn't have some good messages, I don't want to take that away from him, but he does ruin it a little bit with some somewhat misogynistic opinions. And while I wouldn't mind being a penny behind him, I do think he puts a great deal of value on materialistic things, which they don't do any harm, but I don't think they should be a focus for people's life. But that's just me. You do you, Tatey old son. So I would love to talk further about these two people. Actually, I wouldn't. Neither of them hold a great deal of interest for me. Lizzo, I don't like her music, frankly. It's just not my style of music. I'm like Glastonbury seem to like her. And as for Andrew Tate, even if he does have some reasonable messages mixed in with all of the, shall we say, less savoury messages, frankly, I can find anything good Andrew Tate has to say from other sources, such as David Goggins or Jordan Peterson, or Dwayne of Dry Cook Wrangler fame. But I did want to highlight that both of these people have created controversy about themselves to promote their brands. And I did get a little chuckle out of these two people who probably absolutely loathe each other, did exactly the same kind of strategy to promote themselves. But I did want to highlight, though, that there are certain repercussions down the line. You will get a lot of young men or just men acting like Andrew Tate, acting like having 20 fast cars is the be all and end all, thinking that they have to treat a woman like a pet and that it's perfectly acceptable to do this. You will get people, possibly young women, possibly older women, who have struggled with their weight for some time, and they suddenly feel that they're vindicated in not watching their diet and not going to the gym or just exercising because Lizzo stands there and says, "Look at me, I'm great." Now, I'm not saying for a moment that these two people should be ignored. If you enjoy listening to Lizzo's music, that's great. If you enjoy listening to Andrew Tate, whatever. I'm not here to tell you what to do or what not to do, but I am here to caution you to say always examine the messages that you get from everybody. These two are perhaps outlying examples of this. Even if he's innocent, we all saw how much trouble Andrew Tate's message got him in with the police in Croatia. And as good a performer as many people consider Lizzo, she will start feeling the health detriments of being that weight. And though I want to avoid personal accusations in this video, while Lizzo says that she doesn't try to be that size is a flat out lie. By all means, if she chooses to be that size, that is her decision. But it is quite false of her to say that she is not trying to maintain that weight. She has the resources to hire professionals to help her lose that weight. It might take a lot of work, but she could be thinner if she wanted to be. But she chooses to maintain that size for her brand. I'm not appalled or disgusted by her. She's a good looking lass. But this is a conscious decision by her to affect you, the audience. Be aware of that. It's the same thing with Tate. He knows exactly what to say to make people either love him or hate him. Either's good because then he gets clicks. He is a brand now. I personally hadn't heard of either of these two people until their detractors told me about them. They're laughing all the way to the bank. So I did start this video because I thought it was amusing that these two people who are polar opposites did in fact use the same tactics and strategies to gain fame. I do think it is pertinent to end with certainly a lesson I got from this is that you should be very careful what advice you take from celebrities. I mean, there's not much more to say than that. But anyway, I hope you liked the video. A bit shorter today. I'm on holiday, so I decided to get this done on Thursday. I didn't make a video last week because I was knackered from doing the protest video. It took me a long old time. So I will try and get a video out for next week. And again, I just want to say I don't have anything against Andrew Tate. I don't have anything against Lizzo. They're both professionals. They do their thing. If you want to go and watch them, if you want to go and listen to music, if you know, whatever, I'm not telling you not to. I'm not saying they're the devil. Just be very careful. Be very careful what advice you take from people. And I hope that's not too. I hope that doesn't make me sound like an arrogant prick.